Did you know that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of Yah? My goal is to bless you with the Word. Listen to it while you're driving. Listen to it while you're walking along the way. Listen to it when you lay down at night. Listen to the Word. Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 1 through chapter 29 verse 8. When you have come to the land Yahweh your power is giving you as your inheritance, take possession of it and settle there. You are to take the first fruits of all the crops the ground yields, which you will harvest from your land that Yahweh your power is giving you. Put them in a basket and go to the place where Yahweh your power will choose to have his name live. You will approach the Kohen holding office at the time and say to him, "Today I declare to Yahweh your power that I have come to the land Yahweh swore to our ancestors that he would give us." The Kohen will take the basket from your hand and put it down in front of the altar of Yahweh your power. Then in the presence of Yahweh your power, you are to say, "My ancestor was a nomad from Aram. He went down into Egypt, few in number, and stayed. There he became a great, strong, populous nation. But the Egyptians treated us badly. They oppressed us and imposed harsh slavery on us. So we cried out to Yahweh, the power of our ancestors. Yahweh heard us and saw our misery, toil, and oppression. And Yahweh brought us out of Egypt with a strong hand and a stretched out arm, with great terror and with signs and wonders. Now he has brought us to this place and given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Therefore, as you see, I have now brought the first fruits of the land which you, Yahweh, have given me. You are then to put the basket down before Yahweh your power. Prostrate yourself before Yahweh your power, and take joy in all the good that Yahweh your power has given you, your household, the Levi, and the foreigner living with you. After you have separated a tenth of the crops yielded in the third year, the year of separating a tenth, and have given it to the Levi, the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow, so that they can have enough food to satisfy them while staying with you, you are to say in the presence of Yahweh your power, "I have rid my house of the things set aside for the Most High power, and given them to the Levi, the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow, in keeping with every one of the mitzvot you gave me. I haven't disobeyed any of your mitzvot or forgotten them. I haven't eaten any of this food when mourning. I haven't put any of it aside when unclean, nor have I given any of it for the dead. I have listened to what Yahweh my power has said, and I have done everything you ordered me to do. Look out from your holy dwelling place, from heaven, and bless your people Israel, and the land you gave us, as you swore to our ancestors, a land flowing with milk and honey." Today, Yahweh your power orders you to obey these laws and rulings. Therefore, you are to observe and obey them with all your heart and all your being. You are agreeing today that Yahweh is your power and that you will follow his ways. Observe his laws, mitzvot, and rulings, and do what he says. In turn, Yahweh is agreeing today that you are his own unique treasure, as he promised you, that you are to observe all his mitzvot, and that he will raise you high above all the nations he has made in praise, reputation, and glory, and that, as he said, you will be a holy people for Yahweh your power. Then Moshe and all the leaders of Israel gave orders to the people. They said, "Observe all the mitzvot I am giving you today. When you cross the Jordan to the land Yahweh your power is giving you, you are to set up large stones, put plaster on them, and after crossing over, write this Torah on them, every word, so that you can enter the land Yahweh your power is giving you, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Yahweh, the Most High power of your ancestors, promised you. When you have crossed the Jordan, you are to set up these stones, as I am ordering you today, on Mount Eival, and put plaster on them. There you are to erect an altar to Yahweh your power, an altar made of stones. You are not to use any iron tool on them, but are to build the altar of Yahweh your power of uncut stones, and you are to offer burnt offerings on it to Yahweh your power. Also, you are to sacrifice peace offerings, eat there, and be joyful in the presence of Yahweh your power. You are to write on the stones all the words of this Torah very clearly. Moshe and the Kohanim who are Levium spoke to all Israel. They said, "Be quiet and listen, Israel. Today you have become the people of Yahweh your power. Therefore you are to listen to what Yahweh your power says and obey his mitzvot and laws which I am giving you today." That same day Moshe commissioned the people as follows. These are the ones who are to stand on Mount Gerizim and bless the people after you have crossed the Yarden: Shimeon, Levi, Yehudah, Yissachar, Joseph, and Benjamin. While these are to stand on Mount Eival for the curse: Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. The Levium speaking loudly will proclaim to every man of Israel, "A curse on anyone who makes a carved or metal image, something Yahweh detests, the handiwork of a craftsman, and sets it up in secret." All the people are to respond by saying, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who dishonors his father or mother." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who moves his neighbor's boundary marker." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who causes a blind person to lose his way on the road." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who interferes with justice for the foreigner, orphan, or widow." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with his father's wife, because he has violated his father's rights." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with any kind of animal." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with his sister, no matter whether she is the daughter of his father or his mother." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with his mother-in-law." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who secretly attacks a fellow member of the community." All the people are to say, "Amen." "A curse on anyone who does not confirm the words of this Torah by putting them into practice." All the people are to say, "Amen." If you listen closely to what Yahweh your power says, observing and obeying all his mitzvot which I am giving you today, Yahweh your power will raise you high above all the nations of the earth, and all the following blessings will be yours in abundance, if you will do what Yahweh your power says. A blessing on you in the city, and a blessing on you in the countryside. A blessing on the fruit of your body, the fruit of your land, and the fruit of your livestock, the young of your cattle and flocks. A blessing on your grain basket and kneading bowl. A blessing on you when you go out, and a blessing on you when you come in. Yahweh will cause your enemies attacking you to be defeated before you. They will advance on you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Yahweh will order a blessing to be with you in your barns and in everything you undertake. He will bless you in the land Yahweh your power is giving you. Yahweh will establish you as a people separated out for himself, as he has sworn to you, if you will observe the mitzvot of Yahweh your power and follow his ways. Then all the people on earth will see that Yahweh's name, his presence, is with you, so that they will be afraid of you. Yahweh will give you great abundance of good things, of the fruit of your body, the fruit of your livestock, and the fruit of your land, in the land Yahweh swore to your ancestors to give you. Yahweh will open for you his good treasure, the sky, to give your land its rain at the right seasons, and to bless everything you undertake. You will lend to many nations and not borrow. Yahweh will make you the head and not the tail, and you will be only above, never below, if you will listen to observe and obey the mitzvah of Yahweh your power, and not turn away from any of the words I am ordering you today, neither to the right nor to the left, to follow after other powers and serve them. But if you refuse to pay attention to what Yahweh your power says, and do not observe and obey all his mitzvah and regulations which I am giving you today, then all the following curses will be yours in abundance. A curse on you in the city, and a curse on you in the countryside, a curse on your grain basket and kneading bowl, a curse on the fruit of your body, the fruit of your land, and the young of your cattle and flocks, a curse on you when you come in, and a curse on you when you go out. Yahweh will send on you curses, disasters, and frustration in everything you set out to do, until you are destroyed and quickly perish because of your evil actions in abandoning me. Yahweh will bring on you a plague that will stay with you until he has exterminated you from the land you are entering in order to take possession of it. Yahweh will strike you down with wasting diseases, fever, inflammation, fiery heat, drought, blasting winds, and mildew, and they will pursue you until you perish. The sky over your head will be brass, and the earth under you iron. Yahweh will turn the rain your land needs into powder and dust that will fall on you from the sky until you are destroyed. Yahweh your power will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You will advance on them one way and flee before them seven. You will become an object of horror to every kingdom on earth. Your carcasses will become food for all the birds in the air and the wild animals, and there will be no one to scare them away. Yahweh will strike you down with the boils that broke out on the Egyptians, tumors, skin lesions, and itching, all incurable. Yahweh will strike you with insanity, blindness, and utter confusion. You will grope about at noon like a blind person, groping in the dark, unable to find your way. You will be continually oppressed and robbed, and there will be no one to save you. You will get engaged to a woman, but another man will marry her. You will build a house but not live in it. You will plant a vineyard but not use its fruit. Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you won't eat any of its meat. Your donkey will be taken away from you by force as you watch, and you won't get it back. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and there will be no one to help you. Your sons and daughters will be handed over to another people. You will watch for them longingly all day but not see them, and there will be nothing you can do about it. A nation unknown to you will eat the fruit of your land and labor. Yes, you will be continually oppressed and crushed till you go crazy from what your eyes have to see. Yahweh will strike you down in the knees and legs with painful and incurable boils. They will spread from the sole of your foot to the crown of your head. Yahweh will bring you and your king, whom you have put over yourselves, to a nation you have not known, neither you nor your ancestors. And there you will serve other powers made of wood and stone. You will be so devastated as to become a proverb and a laughingstock among all the peoples to which Yahweh will drive you. You will carry much seed out to the field, but gather little in, because locusts will devour it. You will plant vineyards and dress them, but neither drink the wine nor gather the grapes, because worms will eat them. You will have olive trees throughout your territory, but not anoint yourself with the oil, because your olives will fall off unripe. You will father sons and daughters, but they won't belong to you, because they will go into captivity. The bugs will inherit all your trees and the produce of your land. The foreigner living with you will rise higher and higher, while you sink lower and lower. He will lend to you, but you will not lend to him. He will be the head, and you the tail. All these curses will come on you, pursuing you and overtaking you until you are destroyed, because you didn't pay attention to what Yahweh your power said, observing his mitzvah and regulations that he gave you. These curses will be on you and your descendants as a sign and a wonder forever, because you didn't serve Yahweh your power with joy and gladness in your heart when you had such an abundance of everything. Yahweh will send your enemy against you, and you will serve him when you are hungry, thirsty, poorly clothed, and lacking everything. He will put a yoke of iron on your neck until he destroys you. Yes, Yahweh will bring against you a nation from far away that will swoop down on you from the end of the earth like a vulture, a nation whose language you don't understand, a nation grim in appearance, whose people neither respect the old nor pity the young. They will devour the offspring of your livestock and the produce of your soil until you have been destroyed. They will leave you without grain, wine, olive oil, or your young cattle and sheep, until they have caused you to perish. They will besiege all your towns until your high fortified walls, in which you trusted, collapse everywhere in your land which Yahweh your power gave you. Then, because of the severity of the siege and distress that your enemies are inflicting on you, you will eat the offspring of your own body, the flesh of your own sons and daughters whom Yahweh your power has given you. Even the most gentle and sensitive man among you will be without pity for his brother, his beloved wife, or his surviving children, to the degree that he will refuse to share with any of them the flesh of his children whom he is eating, because if he did, he would have nothing left for himself. In the severity of the siege and distress your enemies are inflicting on you in all your towns, the most delicate and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive and delicate that she wouldn't think of touching the sole of her foot to the ground, will so begrudge her own beloved husband, son, and daughter that she will secretly eat the afterbirth that comes out of her and even her own children as she bears them. So desperately hungry will she be in the severity of the siege and distress your enemies are inflicting on you in your towns. If you will not observe and obey all the words of this Torah that are written in this book, so that you will fear the glorious and awesome name Yahweh your power, then Yahweh will strike down you and your descendants with extraordinary plagues and severe sickness that go on and on. He will bring back upon you all the diseases the Egyptians had, which you were in dread of, and they will cling to you. Not only that, but Yahweh will bring upon you all the sicknesses and plagues that are not written in this book of the Torah, until you are destroyed. You will be left few in number, whereas you were once as numerous as the stars in the sky, because you did not pay attention to the voice of Yahweh your power. Thus, it will come about that just as once Yahweh took joy in seeking to do you good and increase your numbers, so now Yahweh will take joy in causing you to perish and be destroyed, and you will be plucked off the land you are entering in order to take possession of it. Yahweh will scatter you among all peoples from one end of the earth to the other, and there you will serve the powers made of wood and stone, which neither you nor your ancestors have known. Among these nations you will not find repose, and there will be no rest for the sole of your foot. Rather, Yahweh will give you their anguish of heart, dimness of eyes, and apathy of spirit. Your life will hang in doubt before you. You will be afraid night and day, and have no assurance that you will stay alive. In the morning you will say, "Oh, how I wish it were evening," and in the evening you will say, "Oh, how I wish it were morning," because of the fear overwhelming your heart and the sights your eyes will see. Finally, Yahweh will bring you back in ships to Egypt, the place of which I said to you, you will never ever see it again. And there you will try to sell yourselves as slaves to your enemies, but no one will buy you. These are the words of the covenant which Yahweh ordered Moshe to make with the people of Israel in the land of Moab, in addition to the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. Then Moshe summoned all Israel and said to them, "You saw everything Yahweh did before your eyes in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh, to all his servants, and to all his land, the great testings which you saw with your own eyes, and the signs and those great wonders. Nevertheless, to this day, Yahweh has not given you a heart to understand, eyes to see, or ears to hear. I led you 40 years in the desert. Neither the clothes on your body nor the shoes on your feet wore out. You didn't eat bread, and you didn't drink wine or other intoxicating liquor. This was so that you would know that I am Yahweh your power. When you arrived at this place, Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, advanced against us in battle. And we defeated them, took their land, and gave it as an inheritance to the Reuveni, the Gadi, and the Manasseh. Therefore, observe the words of this covenant and obey them, so that you can make everything you do prosper.